everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie, for those who don't know me, reviewing Ultimatum Queer Love Season 1, Episode 2. Some of you guys have been asking where you can watch it. The show is on Netflix, so if you have Netflix, it should be right there. I don't think it's under the Ultimatum. Like, you literally have to put Ultimatum Queer Love if it's not showing up on your main page, okay? So, before we get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe and hit the bell, and leave a comment down below. Also, people have been asking for a watch party. I think what we're going to do is tomorrow, being Friday, at like 7 p.m. Oh, am I even creating space for me to film these videos and put them out? I don't know. Let's say tomorrow at like, 7 p.m. Eastern time. So wherever you are, do it for your time, but 7 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. Jumping right in, Lexi is starting to pick up Vanessa's game, and even though she's skeptical, she's still going along with it.
Every time you go on a date with me, you talk to me about my boobs.
Smaller boobs is normally my thing.
So what you're saying is you're curious. You were issued the ultimatum.
Yes. It's weird because you gave an ultimatum and I got an ultimatum.
And we're like,
and we are on the same page.
So far apart and so together with it. If anybody's gonna fuck this shit up, I feel like it's the two of us.
Oh, I thought you were just stopping at fuck.
For someone who's wanting marriage, I'm not understanding why she's connecting with Vanessa at all. Lexi's the one who issued the ultimatum to her partner, yet she's aware that Vanessa isn't. Okay, maybe she wasn't as clear at this point. She gets clarity later on in the episode, but she's like, Vanessa doesn't want to be married. And also, Vanessa is casting her net wide, and Lexi's girlfriend is one of the people that she's trying to pursue too. I'm just like, Lexi, I'm looking at you sideways like, are you ready for marriage? Because Vanessa clearly ain't ready for marriage, but you seem to be very into her, and that doesn't make sense to me at this point. One of Lexi's other connections is Mal, and this connection makes a lot more sense because I feel like they're more on par for what they're looking for, and maybe their temperament and their values. It just makes a hell of a lot more sense.
The person you're with should be your best friend. I feel like we're building the bricks really well.
Yeah, I do feel that with you.
Yeah. The first thing that I noticed was that like you were more mask presenting.
Yeah.
It didn't even occur to me that I also had not been with somebody who's black. I don't want to say that I know enough or anything. I'm not afraid of the learning in that. I don't want to avoid that.
I'm glad that Mal asked the question of, have you dated a black person before? And Lexi hasn't. She hasn't dated somebody who's black or mask, which is both of, two of Mal's characteristics, you know what I mean? So I personally am not a fan of experimental dating. I think that who you naturally gravitate towards is okay, how do I say this? Because then people are going to say, but I don't have a type. Sometimes when people like experiment, there's like these insecurities, and I'm so glad that I was feeling this way in the beginning, because at the end of the episode, we basically get that confirmed. There are these insecurities that start to come up because you always feel like you're being compared to what your person typically goes for. And that's not to say that relationships that are out of your type don't work. They absolutely can work. They can be so fruitful and all of that stuff. I'm just saying, to be cognizant of the fact that they aren't your typical type is very important. That's it. So yeah, people who are not who you naturally gravitate to can have a strong bond with you. And it seems like these two have a connection. That was a very roundabout way of going about it, but whatever. Tiff is opening up to Sam, and she's saying that her relationship, I'm not sure if it was an ex prior to the show or the ex in this process, but she is saying that her previous relationship was too passive.
How do you solve anything when you're taking the steps to ask what's wrong and you get nothing?
It's like sometimes I feel like I try my best, and I feel like I'm not understood. God damn it, I'm crying like a little bitch.
Tiff, I need you to open your eyes. I need you to open your eyes, because Tiff is able to pinpoint all of Mildred's red flags, which are really big red flags, especially when it comes to a long-term commitment. But she's going to go with it anyways because they have a spark. Well, let me tell you something, Tiff. Sparks can cause houses to burn. You want to be a part of that? You want to get burnt? Because that's what's going to happen. You're going to get burned. This relationship should not be together. Yes, they have great sexual chemistry, but when it comes to like the The real important stuff of a relationship, they are severely lacking. Severely lacking. Aussie has decided that marriage is on the cards for her after like 2 days. But my thing is, the concern wasn't necessarily that Aussie didn't see marriage in the future, but it was how long it would process whether or not the person she's with is marriage material.
First, when you come out, that's one thing. When you're like,
Right.
oh, I am gay, you know, or, okay, do I identify as male, female, you know, what does that look like? Am I trans? I didn't have representation when I was growing up, you know, and I think that's something that I'm really passionate about, is to help the kids.
Come to find out, Aussie is dealing with some identity issues. And somebody in the comments of the last video was saying that some of the people in the cast are non-binary. I guess I missed that. I don't know who on the cast is non-binary. I thought everybody was identified as a woman. So, sorry. But Aussie herself, themselves, see, now I'm confused, is having an identity crisis. And it seems like it's not necessarily, I'm not sure about the person that I'm with, but I'm unsure of who I am and who I want to show up as. And so this makes a lot more sense to me, because I'm like, 5 years? Aussie, are you for real? Vanessa is now trying to connect with Lexi's ex, Ray. And Ray is just falling for it hook, line, and sinker.
What are 3 things that you love about yourself? If you can't name 3 things you love about yourself, I think I can name 3 things I love about you. I love how I can't figure you out. I feel like I know people pretty easily, pretty quickly.
Why do you need to understand someone? Like, isn't there a good nervousness? I feel like
that's what
I mean,
I love
hate,
about you.
I don't
That's
like
what I
being
said.
nervous, but
That's my number 3.
I've peeped the game. I see what she's doing. And I'm not going to lie, I might have to pick it up. So what she does, Vanessa, is she makes you seem like you are such an anomaly and would have never crossed her mind. But because you are just so unique and you're so special and you're set apart from anyone else she's ever interacted with, she's intrigued by you. So of course, as the person who's being told you're special, you're rare, you're nothing I've ever experienced before, you're going to feel good about yourself. And you're going to be lulled into the sense of, oh my gosh, I like her too. Oh my gosh, I'm attracted too. It's a farce. It's a farce. She says this to everybody. She says this to everyone. And I'm like, wow, I see it. It's a good game. I can't tell you. It's a good game. Make these people feel special and they'll start to think they really do have feelings for you, when honestly, Vanessa has given them nothing. Xander is opening up about the relationships that she's been in the past and the things that she wants in the future. And it's clear that she has accepted some BS from people.
If we were like married, would your child be your child and mine would be mine, or would it be like our children?
I'm sorry if someone's like said something opposite. Like, that sucks. Like, that's not a cool place to be at.
I am like a lover. I am gonna be there for my partner, like no matter what.
With my ex, there was not enough sex. Once a week is just perfect maintenance for me. Twice a week would probably make me a nicer person.
I don't really know how to describe it, but it's like I'm trying to like keep myself from smiling on it.
Xander, at this point of the episode, to me, felt so genuine. And I was like, oh my goodness. And she's stuck with this Vanessa. Like, what an unfortunate reality, you know? And then with Yoli and Mal, I think that they've gotten comfortable in their relationship. I think they're the ones who've been together for 4 years. So that spark, that excitement that Yoli's looking for, it has dimmed in her relationship with Mal. And so I think like Xander's looking to pour so much into somebody. Yoli has that deficit in her own relationship, and that might be why these two are gravitating towards each other. But I'm like, yeah, I'm looking at Xander and I'm like, something here ain't right. Either she's genuine or I don't know. Lexi has finally seen the light and has decided to kick Vanessa to the curb.
What do you think marrying me would be like?
It's hard for me to imagine marrying anyone. You can't go into it thinking, I'm gonna go get fucking married. Yeah, right. I'm the only one that she could have feelings for. She would be asexual if not for me.
You didn't think she could be attracted to anyone else.
I just can't see how it's genuine. There's a part of me that's almost like somebody should tell you where the door is. This isn't for you.
Welcome to the damn party. Glad to have you. Goodness sakes. Now, can you go and tell Xander? Go and tell Xander that Vanessa ain't shit. And even if Vanessa might be playing a game, like might be wanting to be seen as the villain, because, you know, if you cause drama, you do get the most airtime and you do sometimes become one of the more followed people on social media. But my thing is, even regardless of whether or not she's playing a victim or is actually a villain, her purpose for being on the show is clearly not to resolve her relationship issues and not to resolve how she feels about marriage and if it's for her and whatever. So even if not Vanessa, what's this girl's name? Lexi was taking Vanessa seriously, she would have understood that, oh, marriage is not even like in your sights whatsoever. So I'm wasting my time. Girl, where were you in episode 1? Because we figured that out immediately. Lexi is now concerned that Vanessa is going to ruin her relationship with Ray, so she decides to warn Ray against Vanessa.
I think Vanessa is like a song and dance in this experience. I'm also strongly concerned about like motives for being here. I'm not gonna hold anything against you like in the past from our relationship, but I know what I need by the end of this, like thoroughly. I am good. I do bring a lot to the table. I help people realize why marriage is something they could be ready for.
You gave me 1 week to figure it out. Like,
I'm
you're
not
like
giving
me a
week.
second ultimatum here.
I'm not asking you that. I'm asking you if you feel like you're doing any work towards that.
Lexi is looking for validation that Ray is struggling to give her and might not be able to give her because Ray herself feels inadequate. It's interesting how Lexi feels like she's being pressured to be the picture-perfect person, the picture-perfect partner for Ray. However, Lexi constantly says, I'm a good woman. I'm a great partner. I'd be so good in marriage and all this stuff. And so Ray is the one who actually feels insignificant. She feels like she can't measure up to the expectations that Lexi has. And so how can I validate you if I'm already feeling invalidated in this relationship? I have nothing else to give. Like, I need to get built up first in order to build you up because I ain't got no resources to build you. I didn't see that coming. I definitely thought the pressure was on Lexi, but it seems like Lexi is the one who's putting on the pressure. So like I said earlier, with this whole dating preferences and types and stuff like that, Yoli is gravitating towards her typical preference, and Mal is having a complex about it.
With dating white women in the past, I feel like Xander is like my direct insecurity of what your type is. It feels very like, yep, of course.
Experimental dating can just breed insecurities. And clearly Mal has been dealing with this insecurity of either not feeling like she's good enough for Yoli or doesn't match what Yoli is looking for or would naturally desire. Or you have this fear that eventually the person is going to want to default to their natural preference. You know what I mean? And I do want to say, I just know somebody's going to make it a thing. And I know I'm not explaining it correctly how I feel it in my head. But a type isn't necessarily always like aesthetic. It's just, whatever, let me leave it because I think I'm just going to dig myself a bigger hole. All I'm saying is we know when we can naturally gravitate to somebody, and we know when we're trying to challenge ourselves by dating somebody who maybe the attraction wasn't there initially. And sometimes that can cause problems. That's all I'm trying to say. Tiff and Mildred have a conversation where they're starting to realize that the sexual chemistry is not enough to keep them together.
This experience has made me like realize we're not connected and like how apart we actually are.
I understand that Mildred is taking this very seriously and that she has a right to connect with whoever she wants. But fuck.
Do you feel like we're connecting now?
The kisses, Tiff is trying to force connecting with me, but this happens all the time.
The foundation of this relationship is based on sex. And you can have the most mind-blowing sex, but if the mental connection isn't there, if the values don't align, if the goal, the mission of this partnership is not the same, or at least similar enough to go in the same direction, it's going to be chaos. It's not going to work. And here these two are realizing we might be looking for different things, but then they cover it up with the physical to make it seem like, oh, it's fine, all things are good. And it's, oh, y'all got so much to freaking learn. So much to learn. Goodness sakes. But yeah, I thought it was Mildred who was a lot more, what's the word? Who wanted to lean into the physical aspect of their relationship to cover up their issues. But it seems Mildred does it too. I don't know if that's something that she adopted. I mean, Tiff. I don't know if Tiff adopted this from Mildred, but Mildred has that tendency as well. And she likes to put the onus on Mildred, but she's got her own issues that she needs to take hold of too. Vanessa's such an idiot because we assumed she was here for the fame and for clout. But she literally exposed herself as being here for fame and clout.
No one knows this. I'm actually an Instagram influencer. I like get paid to do content. Are you serious?
I think Vanessa is, I'm just like, why are you here and what's up?
I agree.
I think you're gonna be like pretty surprised, but like, is Yoli?
Fuck.
How are you okay?
Yeah, she's just not very nice to me. I really don't want to talk to you if you went with her.
This is the point of the episode where I was looking at Xander kind of sideways. I said, okay, well, now wait. Because the blatant disrespect from Vanessa to Xander perplexed me. And then now just the way that she's talking to the women that she wants to pursue and her now saying she's an influencer and blah, 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 sponsorships, brand deals, whatever. I'm thinking there's absolutely no way Xander doesn't know this side of Vanessa. Because it is so blatantly obvious coming from Vanessa, Xander must have seen this prior to coming on the show. Must have. So either she's extremely insecure, being Xander and Vanessa, but either Xander is extremely insecure or she's in on it. And either way, it's not going to end well. We get to the choice and Vanessa makes Xander's decision-making process all about her.
I've dated someone like Ray, and, you know, she was fun, and...
Who was that? I've never heard about this ex.
It was an ex, really. It was like,
very
it was
interesting.
more
very,
like a
very
in-between stage, Bumble tender person. Not
Is this like
person
Tractor
matters at
Girl?
all.
Okay.
No.
We're gonna go back to you, Xander.
Okay, great.
Vanessa, you're so weird. You were so weird. So weird. Either way, Xander decided to choose Yoli and Yoli chose Xander back, which is great and all. But Vanessa kept on this weird look at me thing. So when it was, I think her name is Ray. When it was Ray's turn to make her decision, Vanessa just hijacked the decision, and then Lexi hijacked the hijacking, and she takes this opportunity to call Vanessa out.
You came into this process thinking that there was about a 0.001% chance that Xander would have any sort of connections with other people.
You've been telling Xander to fuck off all night, and it's hurting all of us, but you.
It is.
And that should just say so much.
It's hurting who?
Everyone. Everyone's sitting at this table, except for you.
No one else understands except for me, and like that's why I love her. And I don't need you guys to understand that.
I'm glad somebody said it. I'm so glad somebody said it because it seems like everybody's just turning a blind eye. And now even Mal is speaking up and other people are speaking up. I'm like, oh, where were all you guys before? Like, where was everybody beforehand? But Ray seems like she's still going to pick Vanessa either way. I don't know what kind of spell Vanessa has on her. I guess she's looking for somebody who's just as unserious because Ray herself doesn't seem like she wants to get married to Lexi anytime soon. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see where things go. Vanessa, count your days. Count your days. Because if you get some kind of notoriety off the show, I know it's not going to be a good experience because you're coming off so, just I don't like her at all. Anyways, like, comment, share, and subscribe. There was a lot of rambling in this episode, guys. Please forgive me. It is what it is. Tune in for the watch party that will be on Discord. You can find the Discord link in the description box down below. And I will see you guys in the next one.